How is everyone this morning? How do you think that went?
I think that was horrible.
It wasn't horrible, but I think we can do better. How is everyone this morning? There we go. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Tucson. We are a spiritual community. There goes my computer again. We are a spiritual community that is, give me just a moment, I'm having a technical difficulty.
I think we can do one more time.
Indeed
How
we can.
is everybody?
We're so happy to be here. So good to see you guys.
Very excited.
Thank you for coming up.
Yeah.
Fine morning.
And you may be wondering who these beautiful women are.
Hi.
Yes,
Thank you.
These are our beautiful, beautiful guest artists today, Catherine Burns and Janae Page. They are going to open us in song. But before they do that, I want to say that we are a spiritual community here to celebrate love. That is what this whole thing is all about. It's about spreading the love, being the love, lighting up the world with love. And, you know, there's a message that they're going to offer to us, and that is what we're going to do to get to that love. What do we do to get to that love? Yeah, we think.
Gotta think.
All right,
think
so
about it.
here's Catherine Burns and Janae Page.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think. Let your mind go, let yourself be free. Now let's go back, let's go way on to way back when. I didn't even know, yeah, you couldn't have been too much more than 10. Just a child, I ain't no psychiatrist, I ain't no doctor with degree. It don't take too much IQ to see what you're doing to me. You better think about what you're trying to do to me. Think, let your mind go, let yourself be free. Oh, freedom. Could ask, I could answer you, but I won't, but I was gonna change, but I'm not if you keep doing things I don't. Think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think, let your mind go, let yourself be free. Oh, people walking around every day, playing games and taking scores, trying to make other people lose their minds. Well, be careful you don't lose yours. Hey, think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think, let your mind go, let yourself be free. You need me, and I need you. Don't you know without each other there ain't nothing people can do. Oh yeah, think about it right now. Come on, think about it right now. Oh, freedom, yeah, freedom, yeah, freedom. Yes.
Catherine Burns and Janae Page.
Thank you.
Well, that's quite a way to start a Sunday morning, isn't it? Grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yes, once again, good morning, beautiful humans. Welcome to Unity of Tucson and another high energy Sunday morning. High energy, because I think that allowing ourselves to celebrate is what church should be all about. Church should be about a celebration of the inherent truth of life. And that, for me, is the understanding that there is only one infinite power and presence. That is what we call God. This power, this creative source, this infinite creative energy is all that exists, and that is who and what each and every one of us is. And so that's what we celebrate here on a Sunday morning. Now, I've been saying for the past couple weeks, and I'm going to keep repeating it for a while, because I actually really like this idea, and that is this. If you're new, or even if you're not new, you may not believe everything you hear today, and that's okay, because you will hear something you believe. And part of this path of new thought, this unity path, is to deepen into the understanding of what our beliefs are, because our beliefs create our experience. As Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. And so when we truly understand what it is we believe, there goes the construction of our life. We have a vision statement at this church here that we have adopted recently, and I would like for us to share in this vision statement together. Would you help me say this? We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we see the world. It is how we see ourselves within this thing called the world. And how do we do that, right? Because the vision is lovely, but there have to be practical ways to get there. And so one of the practical ways that we get there is through our mission statement. Our mission statement is this: love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. If you are joining us for the first time, first of all, if you are online joining us for the first time, I would love for you to let us know that you have decided to spend your Sunday morning with us, or even if you're watching on the replay, because the videos get archived and you can watch them later. If you are watching at any time, please let us know that you've joined us by going to unitytucson.com/connect and filling out the information there so that we know and we can make a connection with you. If you're in the room and you're here for the first time, well, there are a couple of things that we have to offer you. If you would like to identify yourself, and there's no requirement that you identify yourself, and I'll tell you why I don't make it a requirement. Because the first time I found myself in a New Thought church, I didn't want to identify myself because I'm just a little shy, which shocks a lot of people. But if you are new and you would like to identify yourself, we have a gift we would like to give you, and we would be delighted if you would stand up and make yourself known so that we can, throw some love your way. Is there anyone who is visiting us new for the first time today? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yes, welcome. Welcome. And if you would remain standing, we have another thing. It's not just the physical gift. There's another thing. We've done our research. This community has done some research about you, and we know something about you. And we would like to tell you what it is that we know about you. Is everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I'm grateful that you're sharing your magnificence. You can be seated. Grateful that you're sharing your magnificence and shining your light with us today. Now, I think it's important that as we exclaim and you are magnificent. I mean, you've been here before, but, first time with me. You are magnificent. I think it's important that as we understand that we can say to other people, you are magnificent, that we are able to claim it for ourselves as well. So would you join me in saying this? I am magnificent. That is the truth. Magnificence is our inherent truth, and I'm grateful that you are here today. We're going to take the energy down just a little bit. There goes, I have to get this fixed somehow. There is something I have to, so before we start the meditation, Carrie-Mon, would you please go into the teen room and let them know that somehow they are streaming their online presence to this TV, and that's what keeps knocking my notes away. So they need to stop streaming to this TV. Thank you. So that's what's happening. I'm going to invite us all to close our eyes. It is magnificent. I'm going to invite us all to close our eyes. I can start this up even if that's not streaming there. And let's just relax right where we are as we take a few moments to find ourselves in a centered awareness. As Charles Fillmore spoke of the practice of silence, of meditation, he called it going to headquarters. And I like that idea. I like the idea of lifting ourselves up, allowing the fullness of the wholeness of the divine to be fully present right where each and every one of us is. And so if it is safe, if it's comfortable for you to just relax right where you are and easefully and gracefully turn your attention to the breath. There's no need to force the breath. There is no need to control the breath. Just deepen into the awareness that it's happening. Just be aware and notice. Check in with your physical body to see if there's any place where you may be holding on to any unnecessary tension. And simply invite that unnecessary tension to melt away. Simply allow. I'm going to speak the words of this month's affirmation, and I invite us, as I speak these through a few times, allow yourself to take them in. Just take in the words. And as you take them in, simply allow them to work you. Just see what feeling comes up in relationship to these words. The healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. The healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. Speak the affirmation one more time, and then let's just sit in silent contemplation of that for a moment. The healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. The healing power of divine life within strengthens and revitalizes me. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. Right here in this moment, I live in the full awareness of the One, that there is only one infinite power and presence right where each and every one of us is, for this is our divine identity. And I know this experience here today is God ordained, and I simply allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace. Thank you. Carol, would you join me, please? Carol is here to be, or is one of our keepers of the flames, and is here to light our flames of faith this morning. Yes, you are. The flames of faith ritual, the ceremony that I've brought and share with this community, is a ceremony to honor all the faith traditions, all the religious paths, all the spiritual ideas that exist throughout this world. And as we honor each and every one of them, it is with this understanding that each and every one of them is rooted in a divine golden thread that we call love. And so that's what we're honoring here today, so with each candle that we light. And so we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the use of spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware yet of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are, each and every one of us, holding open in our hearts for them. And this final candle we light is the healing candle, representing the healing of any circumstance that requires the uncovering of divinity at its core. For that is how we teach healing within this philosophy, within this religious tradition, that healing is the expression of God at the core of all creation. And when we find ourselves aligned with that, we find ourselves healed in many ways. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. The candle here on your left is our peace candle. And we keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with the understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as that peace is expressed from our hearts outwardly through our thoughts, our intentions, and our deeds, we create a more peaceful experience of life for everyone. And it's all centered right where we are. So let's honor this candle, if you would, with me by saying the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established, and peace begins to reign in the world. Indeed, it does. Yeah, I love that. Carol. So if you are new to this community, I like to preface this section of what we do on a Sunday by saying I give homework every week. And I invite the keeper of the flames, whomever that is each Sunday, to come up and talk about their work through the previous week's homework. So Carol is here to tell us a little bit about what happened for her this week. But let me remind everyone what the homework was.
Okay.
Yes, the homework was this. Take a deep dive into your heart and consider new ways to be of service. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, because last week was all about service. And not from a sense of obligation, but as an affirmation of your faith.
Yes.
Tell me about what happened for you this week.
Well, I thought about it a lot. And I know one thing. It's not about signing up for one more job, although I did. That's not what the homework was about for me. It was about signing up for whatever I'm going to do with more consciousness behind it, understanding better. You know, things begin and they prosper and they end, and sometimes when the end is happening, we go, no! Everybody sign up and do this because I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Did that ever happen to you when everything breaks and you just want to go, no!
You don't know the half of it.
I know that much. But anyway, yes, but sometimes something better comes out of it in the end, or you find out you really didn't need that thing that you thought you needed so much, that really, it's okay. So for me, sometimes, and right now is a time, maybe for everybody, right now is a time when I need to look at what I'm doing and say, now is this really helping? Is this really serving? Or is this really just what I want? From that point of view, I haven't changed anything, but you never know.
You never know.
You
There's
never
always
know.
time to change.
You never know, and sometimes you don't really need what you thought you needed.
Trust me, that's the story of my life. Oftentimes. Oh, I thought I needed that. Really, I didn't.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Carol, let's give Carol a hand. Thank you so much. I am so grateful that we have such talent in Tucson that we're getting to share with this community, and I'm so grateful for these two beautiful, beautiful women who have decided to join us here today. And they've got one of my favorite songs ever. They are gracing us with that song today, so please welcome again Catherine Burns and Janae Page.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind blowing, I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. I have often asked myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's or maybe love can end the madness. Maybe not more, but we can only try. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful as you feel. You're beautiful.
Catherine Burns and Janae Page. You are beautiful.
You are beautiful.
Thank you. I think I have my technical issues worked out. All right, so I'm going to preface with a technical story. I think I've told this before. This has nothing to do with my talk, by the way. It's just, it came to mind because, things go wrong sometimes in this experience of like doing some kind of presentation. And I was in a show that I did every winter for many years called Yo Ho Ho, A Pirate's Christmas. It was a show that was geared, it was theater for young audiences, and I was the captain of the pirate ship was the role I played, Captain Black-Eyed Johnny. And I was also, now get this, because this is what you do when you're in the world of theater sometimes. I was also the sound designer for the show. And it was part of a repertory theater company that I was working with, and we had a guy who had never worked the soundboard before come in and run the show. Now, the entire show was not with a live band, it was a musical that was done to tracks. And to cue the music, he had to hit the space bar on the computer. But if you held the space bar too long, it would fire multiple cues at the same time. And it happened multiple times through the show until I finally, in character, in the middle of a performance, said, "Just one moment, I've got to go up to the booth and I've got to tell that sound designer what's what." And so I left the stage, marched up to the booth, and I tried to explain to him exactly how to operate the show in the middle of the show. Technical things do happen. So that said, I want to start with this quote today. Because every thought moves upon an invisible substance in increasing or diminishing degree. When we praise the richness and fullness of God, this thought stuff is tremendously increased in our mental atmosphere. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there, right? Well, first of all, let's start with the first two words. Every thought. Every thought. Sometimes I'm asked, does every thought create? And I say, yes, every thought is creative. Now, we can quickly negate thoughts without even realizing we're doing it, which is why not everything we think shows up in the world of form like that, because we may have a thought and we immediately go, oh, no, no. And that's okay, because that's part of the experience and expression of life. So every thought moves upon an invisible substance. This invisible substance is God's stuff, right? He even says it. He says it's thought stuff. Well, thought and God are the same thing, right? It's God's stuff, this invisible substance. And the entire expression, everything that exists, every aspect of form is the expression of that internal impression of thought. So every thought is creating, moving upon that invisible substance in either increasing or diminishing degree. And that's why I say, we negate thoughts pretty quickly. That'll diminish the expression of those things in the world of form very quickly. And there are things that we focus on and we grow them in our experience. You've heard, right? What you put your focus on grows in your experience. So if we remove the focus on the things we would not like to experience, those things will diminish in degree. And as we put our focus on the things we would like to experience, we are inviting the increase of that experience and expression. That's what he's talking about here. So, there's a way that we approach life. Have you ever heard yourself saying something like this? I have a problem, and I'm hoping you can help me. Now, it's okay to go to other people. We rely on other people for support and for help, right? Make sure you're going to the right people. Because oftentimes what happens is, I have a problem, I'm hoping you can help me. And their response is, yes, I can commiserate with you. What happens when they are in co-commiseration is you're increasing more stuff in your experience to commiserate about. So you got to be really, really clear on who you are going to when you actually have that call within you to say, I have a problem, I'm hoping you can help me. Make sure it is somebody that can actually help. Because here's what happens sometimes. What is the actual underlying belief that is at play in that kind of request? Again, the request. I have a problem, I'm hoping you can help me. There are many options for underlying beliefs that can be at play here. Among them may be, I can't do anything about this. I can't do anything about this. Well, I'm about to negate that idea for you real fast. If you have the perception of a problem in your experience, it is all, number one, first and foremost, in mind. All problems are problems of the mind. And as we change our mind, there is solution. And so if we perceive a problem, inherent in that is a solution. Because a problem cannot exist without a solution. Because this expression of God is living in magnificent, beautiful polarity. So it's okay if we experience problems in our life. I mean, is there anyone who has never not experienced a problem? All right, I just want to make sure I'm on the right track because, if you've not experienced a problem, as I often say, why don't you come up here and please feel free to inspire me. So we can really live that. What is the actual underlying belief? I can't do anything to change that, right? Or, that's life. That's another one. That's a big one for a lot of people. You have a problem in your life, well, that's life. Well, is that actually moving in the direction of solution? No. It's giving over and probably keeping the problematic frame of mind in activity within your mind. And so what's happening is every thought moves upon an invisible substance, and it is creating more problems in your life. Here's my favorite. I have a problem. I'm hoping you can help me. The subtext there may be something like, oh, it really feels good to tell my story. It really feels good to get that story of woe and anguish out, right? The more we live within the context of that story in mind, the more we create more of that story in our experience. That's been my story a lot, to be honest. And I have been learning, and I continue to learn every single day, to let the story go. Today is ultimately about telling stories, the stories we tell ourselves all the time. And there is a subtlety to the way we tell our stories. There's a subtlety in that. It can be something as simple as you've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face, right? But there's a subtle shift that can maybe make that a different story and take charge of your life. Because that's pretty directive. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face, right? How about this? You get to get up every morning with a smile on your face. It's a subtle shift, but it is taking the power back and saying, I know who I am, and I know how I choose to be, and I know how I choose to express in this world, and I get to get up every morning with a smile on my face and show the world all the love in my heart. Because it is not a directive from anything outside the self. It is that which is inherently flowing forth through me as me. How about you? What is the first thing you do? Just a question for consideration. What is the first thing you do when something challenging happens in your life? Do you go and tell all your friends about it? It can feel lonely if you don't do that, right? Like you have to sit with this challenging thing on your own. So you want to let people know how your life is unfolding. What good is that? It's good to the degree that you're going to the right people, as I said earlier. It's a little like Family Feud. Imagine you're going around and you've got your story, right? And you're telling your story, and you're looking for the opinions of others. Now, are you familiar with Family Feud? They go out and they do these surveys, right? And they get the top 100 answers to such and such question. So imagine you are the one asking the question, and you are looking for the top 100 answers, and you've got a little Richard Dawson. Am I aging myself? You've got a little Steve Harvey in your ear. And he's constantly in your ear and in your head, and he's going around with you, and he's saying, survey says the top 10 reasons for maintaining a negative mindset. Survey says, and you're getting all those answers from everyone around you. How well do you think that's going to work out for you? The most common question in the metaphysical spiritual movement, and I get this question multiple times a week, if not multiple times a day. Top question is, how do I change my thinking? How do I change my thinking? Because the whole philosophy is based on changing our thinking so that our experience and expression of life changes, right? But do you have practical tools for changing your thinking? You may, but that's the question I get asked the most. How do I actually do it? Because those thoughts, it's like that monkey mind is in there doing its thing, and I can't. How do I change my thinking? You know, because it's very easy to say. It's an easy and it's a quick and easy phrase to say, change your thinking, change your life. Y'all hear that, right? Change your thinking, change your life. The practice is an entirely different story. The practice of it is an entirely different story. You know, I talked a little bit, I think, last week. I get it all confused, because now I'm thinking, maybe I said it yesterday in the membership orientation. I say it a lot. I came to this philosophy from an intellectual standpoint. I thought about this stuff a lot, but the thinking of it didn't actually shift until I embodied a new idea. It did not change until I embodied a new belief, and that is when my life changed. So it starts with thinking, absolutely, but the habitual thought that you are trying to embody has to be settled down into a belief, and then everything changes. You could be like Peter. Remember Peter from Scripture? Oh, yeah. Peter had a belief. He had an idea. He said he would never deny Jesus, right? He went to Jesus and said, I will never deny you. I will never deny you. But under the pressure of other people's opinions, he did deny Jesus 3 times. That's how powerful other people's opinions can be. They can truly tap into a place within you that is easily shifted if you do not remember who you are. Now, Peter turned it around. And that's part of the path too, is that we can always turn it around. We are never relegated to anything we have done in the past. We are always in a brand new present moment, flowing forth, moving forth into activity. And so there is always the opportunity to change your thinking, change your beliefs, and change your life. So, how do we find ourselves in the position of giving in ever, right? How do we find ourselves in this position? How do we address our own thinking? Again, it goes back to the question, how do I do it? For me, there is one answer. There is one answer. Affirmative prayer. That's the answer for me. Affirmative prayer is a movement of mind. That's what affirmative prayer is. It is a movement of mind, which is our use and share of the infinite God mind, the infinite universal mind, whatever you choose to call it. We are that infinite mind at the level of our understanding and expression of it. Affirmative prayer is a movement of this mind through us, as us, of us, for the purposes of creation. And so as we pray, it is ours to be moved into the expression and experience of creation. It is an avenue to direct the infinite creative spirit, the infinite creative God, the infinite creative source, the infinite creative energy, to direct it into the expression of our lives. Here's what prayer is not. It is not looking to others for their opinions. It is not looking to anything outside the self for judgment. It is not beseeching. It is not begging. Many of us were brought up with an idea of prayer that was asking God to do something. I've heard many people utilize a specific form of prayer that is a beseeching and asking and is essentially calling out to God with that little Steve Harvey voice in my head. Survey says, and you're getting the answer from God. What you think might be God outside the self. But we don't teach God outside the self. We teach the infinite power and presence is who and what we are. So in Unity, we teach a 5-step prayer, just like we teach a 5-step, so I'm going to go back to this, right? My training originally was in a different branch of the New Thought movement, and both of them have 5-step prayers. How convenient is that? But I had to learn the steps of the Unity prayer to become ordained as a Unity minister. The 5 steps of Unity prayer are these: relaxation. Relaxation, allowing ourselves to come to a centered awareness, to relax the body, to relax the mind, to be open and receptive to the infinite power and presence moving and flowing through us. So relax, number 1. Number 2, we can allow ourselves to concentrate. What is it we are concentrating on, though? Because that is very important. Concentration on the idea and understanding and affirmation that there is only one power, there is only one presence, there is God and nothing else. It is infinite, and that is what we teach. And so knowing that it is infinite, we can then move into step 3, which is meditation, meditating on the idea that it being infinite, I am part of infinity because I am not separate from, because then I would be finite and it would be finite. Meditation on the understanding of those 3 words that I often say, and some people run screaming from the room when I say this, but I'm going to do it in 6 words. I am God. You are God. We are God. Because there can be nothing separate from God. So if we were to do nothing else than relax, concentrate on the truth that there is only one infinite power and presence, and meditate on the idea that that is who and what I am, and I'm speaking the I as though you are speaking the I to yourself in this moment. If we got no further in the prayer, but really embodied that idea, we actually wouldn't have to get to the other 2 steps because they would be inherent. But I'm going to tell you what those other 2 steps are. The other 2 steps are realization. That's what you're praying for. I'm going to talk a little bit in a moment about what it is you are realizing. But as you realize it, then what do? You offer gratitude and thankfulness for it, which is the 5th step. Gratitude, thankfulness. To allow yourself to be welled up with a feeling of gratitude. Those are the 5 steps of Unity prayer: relaxation, concentration, meditation, realization, thankfulness. Affirmative prayer is not magic. A lot of people hear, oh, there's a spiritual philosophy, and I hear if I pray, I get what I want. That's the secret. There's more to it. It's not willing things to happen. It is not beseeching some good to fall upon us. It is opening ourselves up to the change we seek. Opening up that avenue within us to experience change. You know who really, really understood this? Mother Teresa. This is a beautiful quote that I found. I used to believe that prayer changes things, but now I know that prayer changes us, and we change things. I often tell people when I'm teaching the practice of prayer that there's one point and purpose of prayer, and that is to change our own minds. Because if it is change your thinking, change your belief, change your life, then the beginning of that change is within. It is not trying to coerce something to happen out there. It is finding that avenue which is within. It is finding that avenue which is the mind, the God mind that is us, to show up as the experience of our lives. Prayer is not willpower. It is willingness to be open. It is not concentration, although a concentrated experience is part of the expression of prayer in form. Ultimately, it is finding that open avenue. Prayer is especially not taking a survey of all the opinions of your family and friends. Prayer is the avenue of change within, so that our experience aligns in suit with that which is inherent. Yet, these things for many people end up being prayer. The beseeching, the trying to change, the coercion, those things end up being prayer. Why? Because we start to believe the things that we hear. And as I said before, it is done unto you as you believe. So what can you do? What can you do? Invite clarity in your own use of infinite mind. Invite clarity and learn spiritual truth. That's the realization part. The affirmation of spiritual truth. Now you're going to ask me, what is spiritual truth? Spiritual truth is that which is unchangeable, the unchangeable reality behind all appearance. When we talk about the healing candle, that's what I'm talking about. The God essence, the spiritual truth, the unchangeable reality behind all experience and expression in this world. Every thought, Charles Fillmore said, as I started with today, moves upon an invisible substance in increasing or diminishing degree. Prayer is the path to increase that which you would like to have as experience in your life. When we praise the richness and fullness of God as us, this thought stuff is tremendously increased in mental atmosphere. So here's the thing, too, about that. It is an exponential shift we can experience because when we are on the right path, we very quickly ascend. So if you would like to commit today, this is my call. If you would like to commit today, I would invite you to deepen your level of faith through a consistent prayer practice. And I'm not going to ask for anyone to raise their hands because I know many, in fact, most people here probably have a consistent prayer practice. But you know what? It can be more consistent. I can have a more consistent prayer practice, and I've been doing this for a really long time now. Find what works. If those 5 steps speak to your heart, use them. If something else works for you, keep it on the affirmative side and use it. Because here's what I say. We can teach steps of prayer. We can teach technique. But ultimately, technique is whatever works for you. That is your technique. Technique is anything that works. So find what works within your heart, within your soul, and within your mind, and use it. That's the message today. No more. Survey says, it's now. I say. I say. I say. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. I bet you cannot guess what the homework is today, because I basically just gave it to you. I would like you to pray daily. Pray daily. You can join me. Now, here's the good news. You can pray with other people. That will count. If you would like to join me online, I pray at 11:30 a.m. every single Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live. If you can go find Unity of Tucson on Facebook or on YouTube, I offer some words I will offer some ideas, and then I pray. And so I invite you to join me if that's the way you want to experience this. But I'm going to encourage you to pray every day. So while I'm here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's also today and Monday, next Saturday and Sunday. See what happens. Just see what happens in your life if you maintain a consistent practice of prayer throughout the week. Now, here's the other part of that. If you have a daily prayer practice, I would like you to check in to see if it is still effective for you. And if you find something isn't working, change it. Because there's no requirement from anything outside the self for what your prayer practice should look like. Find what works. I'm going to invite you to settle into whatever it is that has resonated with your heart today. Just find that kernel of truth. Find an allowance, a place within that affirms yes, yes, yes. The love and the light of divine, infinite power and creativity is flowing through each and every one of us right now. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. God is, I am. Right here in this moment, in this pure, perfect moment, I allow myself to relax into the understanding of wholeness, to relax any attention on the physical, to turn the focus to that inner life, the inner life of feeling and belief and thought. And I let myself for a moment concentrate on this infinite truth that there is only one power. There is only one creative source. There is God and nothing else. In understanding this, in affirming this, and in that place of concentrated attention to this idea, I move into that place of meditating on the understanding that this is who and what I am, this is who and what all creation is, this is who and what each and every one of us is. We are this power, we are this presence. We are the goodness and the light and the life. This is our core identity. And everything that flows forth is rooted in this idea. I choose in this moment to realize and affirm in this realization that all is well, that all is flowing forth with grace and with ease, that we are each and every one of us in the right place at the right time, having the right experience, and it does not matter what the circumstances look like, for we are here in this moment, perfectly unfolding as God. And so it is with gratitude overflowing from within, a feeling of gratitude welling up and letting itself guide and express. It is with this gratitude that I simply affirm it as so, as I relax and let it be. And so it is. Amen. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. Sometimes we have moments of quiet expression and experience that you just don't want to break. But I'm going to break it by inviting William Summers to the platform. William Summers is the vice president of our board and has been a dear friend for many years, and I'm deeply grateful for him in my life and for him in this community. And I do have a question for you.
Yes.
I want to know, how was your week?
You know, my week was really great, except for one little thing.
Oh, see, I opened my big mouth.
Yeah. Well, last week Laura was up here and she told the congregation and the people online that here at Unity we accept all denominations, and then she mentioned a $10 bill, a $20 bill, a $100 bill. So I thought, okay, and on the way out, I dropped my electric bill in the basket. Well, I got an email, and if I don't do something Tuesday, they're going to turn my lights off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but fortunately, people out here and online, they're a lot smarter than me. We've got the lights on, and we don't have to worry about it. Yeah. And that's because of the generosity that you give towards what we are trying to do here. Now, normally I read the stuff off of this thing that's now working, the monitor, but I'm over here in So Growth. I'm trying something different here. So I got this piece of paper here that I'm going to read off the various ways that we can give. So as I mentioned, we have baskets in the back there because we're not passing them because of COVID. So if you choose to give that way, just drop it in on your way out. If you want to do a credit or debit card, please stop at the bookstore on the way out. They'll be happy to take care of that for you. If you're online, you'll see a link you can click on at unityoftucson.com. You can send a check in the mail, or you can call the office during regular hours. Well, this is not correct days, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday.
Those are the correct days.
Well, that's not on here.
I have to update the sheet.
I have knowledge that you don't.
Oh, okay.
It may be the only thing I know that you don't, but okay, from 9 to 5:30, or you can use a smartphone and text Unity of Tucson to 73256. And with that said, if you would join me in our divine giving statement. There we go. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me, and so it is.
Thank you so much, William. Appreciate you, and appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you in my life. William Summers. William mentioned that you can give by debit or credit card in the bookstore. We're going to keep the bookstore closed because we have a membership town hall meeting today after service, so we're going to try to very quickly move into that. For those of you who are staying for that, we're planning on it being no more than an hour, and maybe we'll even get through it in a shorter amount of time. I don't like to have extended meetings, but there's just some information that we would like to share with you as the leadership, the board of directors, and me. We would like to share some information with you about what's happening here at Unity of Tucson. So if you are compelled, you would like to stay, please join us for that. If you are online and would like to watch, we're not going to Zoom the meeting, but if you would like to watch the activity of the meeting, if you would like to watch the activity of the meeting, you can do that. We're not going to put it to YouTube or Facebook, so you'll have to go to unitytucson.com/livestream if you'd like to watch the meeting online. But please do stay with us so that we can share with you what's happening here. Tai Chi with Monk continues Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 in Room A, which is on the south end of this building. Gentle Yoga with Lynn is on Monday mornings at 9:30 a.m., which is in Harmony Hall, which is the room directly on the other side of this wall. You just show up for those, and they handle all of their own payments. I think it's $15 for yoga, and sorry, I don't remember what it is for Tai Chi right now, but great opportunity to join in those practices. Meredith Little's My Program, which is a weight loss program, continues Thursdays at 8 a.m. in Room A. And Christina Gilman's program, now she started last week. There's Christina. Hello, Christina. Meredith, are you in the room? There she is. There. Yes, so Meredith is there with her My Program. Hi, Meredith. And Christina is offering a communication workshop called Express Your Magnificence. It's a 10-week workshop. 6-week workshop. See, I've got all the information really up in my mind. 6-week workshop. It actually started last week, but you are still accepting new people if you'd like to show up for that. Thursdays at 10 a.m., also in Room A. Molly is continuing to take reservations for Gaslight Theater. Molly is in the back there waving her hand, and she can help you with that. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So we're going to go to the Gaslight Theater on December 18th to see the holiday show Elfed. It'll be a 12 o'clock noon show. Super excited about that. While we have not been collecting money yet, we will start collecting money at the beginning of October, so Molly will be in touch with you if you've already made a reservation, but as of the first Sunday in October, if you make a reservation, we will be asking for payment at that point as we move forward. So see Molly in the lobby. If you're online, you can always email Molly at mollyhnelson@gmail.com to get more information about that. Our 80 by 80 roof fund. We need to replace our roof. I know, we've been going through this every week, right? We need to replace our roof, so we have a fund that we have developed. The reason it's called 80 by 80 is we need to raise $80,000, and we want to do it by November 23rd, which is the birth date, the 80th birth date of one of our members who is making an anonymous contribution to match $20,000. So we get to raise 60, and this anonymous contributor will match it by putting in $20,000, and then we will have our $80,000, and we will get to get our new roof. Part of that is we are going to be doing a yard sale, large indoor community yard sale in support. All the proceeds from the yard sale will go towards that fund. Two things about that. We are collecting items that you would like to donate for the yard sale. We can take them on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays during our regular office hours. Please call ahead to make sure we are here. But also on Sundays, if you bring your items on Sundays, Molly will be in room 4 where we are doing the collecting to be able to receive your items there as well. So you can bring stuff on Sundays. And Molly, you're looking for volunteers to help with that still, with organizing and pricing and all of that stuff. So if you have a willingness to support that, please also see Molly. She'll be happy to help you out with information on how to do that. Also, save the date. October 30th, we are putting together a benefit concert of local talent to support the roof fund. So save the date, October 30th. It's going to be a fun concert. There'll be more information that's going to come out around that. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today the magnificent experience it is. I want to say thank you to Wally and Don and Tyler who are in our tech crew today. Thank you so much for your service. In particular, I want to say thank you to Wally and Don, who were in here for countless hours throughout the week to replace the soundboard that we had been using. I think that the sound has a more present feel in the room, and that kind of excites me. I'm deeply grateful for you and your commitment to making us sound and look as good as we possibly can. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to Carol for offering your service to light the flames and to provide us with your feedback today, Carol Withy. Yes. William Summers, thank you so much for sharing, and I'll get that electric bill back to you. I want to say thank you to Linda and Joshua and Raphael, this magnificent band. And let's offer our magnificent gratitude to Catherine Burns and Janae Page. Thank you so, so very much. We are so blessed by you, and I'm so grateful that you are here. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making your presence known, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but in this thing called life, because you are magnificent. So let's celebrate that. Whether you're in the room, whether you're online, doesn't matter. You are magnificent. Yes. Let's complete our time here. Yes. Let's complete our time here by sharing together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to get up and move your body and dance if you are so moved.
The word has been spoken, the songs have been sung, our hearts have been opened, together as one.
Center of creation, we are. Divine congregation, we are. No separation, we are. We are. Here we stand. Shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family. Here we stand.
The truth has been spoken, the message received, our hearts have been opened to what we believe.
Center of creation, we are. Divine revelation, we are. No separation, we are. We are. Here we stand, the power of one hand in hand. We shine like the sun, here we stand, together as one family. Here we stand, here we stand, here we stand, here we stand. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.